Parliament is not paying a salary to MPs prosecuted for rebellion, and it will hold no plenary until October. Hello, and welcome to Catalan News. The Catalan and Spanish governments are trying to regain trust by holding meetings, but the situation is far from solved. 9 politicians are still in pretrial prison, and 7 others are abroad. Today we learned the Catalan parliament has suspended 6 of them, still MPs, from receiving their salaries. We'll learn why, and we'll also go over the strikes expected in Barcelona starting tomorrow. Can a judge strip elected MPs from their seats because they pushed ahead with an independence referendum and are being prosecuted for rebellion? The answer to this question divides Catalan parties, between those that think that these MPs have no place in the parliament, those that insist their political rights should remain intact and the chamber should disobey the courts, and others that open the door to them having their votes delegated to other colleagues. But the chamber is already taking some steps.
The Catalan Parliament has stopped paying the salaries of the MPs prosecuted for rebellion. This includes Carles Puigdemont, the former president exiled in Germany, as well as his vice president Oriol Junqueras and 3 other politicians in jail for a referendum and a declaration of independence last October. Spain's Supreme Court ordered they be suspended from Parliament, but the Catalan government stresses that stopping their salaries doesn't mean they are no longer members of the chamber.
Això no vol dir que estiguin suspesos, això vol dir que de moment se'ls ha deixat de pagar a partir del 13 de juliol, que és el dia que es va rebre l'informe. A partir d'aquí, la mesa és la que ha de prendre una decisió.
The Parliament Bureau is controlled by the pro-independence parties, but they do not agree on how to apply the court's order. Last week, a plenary session was cancelled after they failed to reach agreement. With the next Parliament meeting set for October, the unionist parties accused the government of shutting down opposition.
El separatismo ha decidido cerrar el Parlamento hasta octubre. Ha decidido que la oposición debe estar silenciada hasta que a ellos les dé la gana, que es octubre.
Junqueras' Esquerra party wanted all the MPs to be temporarily substituted, but Junts per Catalunya, their coalition partner, and Puigdemont's party say the suspension should not apply to the former president. The reason? Unlike the other MPs, Puigdemont is not in jail but in Germany. And, perhaps more importantly, a German court has rejected the charges of rebellion against Puigdemont, a decision that led the Supreme Court to give up its attempts to extradite him. The former president will now travel back to Belgium, where he resided after abandoning the country last October. There he will be greeted by his government colleagues. The court case against Catalan leaders may have helped bring the pro-independence parties together, but they have also often found it hard to deal with the political implications. They have now gained some precious time to resolve the reason for their latest discrepancy, what to do with Puigdemont and the suspended MPs.
With Parliament technically closed until October, other political parties have also been reacting to this unusual situation.
El separatismo ha decidido cerrar el Parlamento hasta octubre. Ha decidido que la oposición debe estar silenciada hasta que a ellos les dé la gana, que és octubre.
Fins al dia 2, 3 i 4 d'octubre, segons el govern, aquest Parlament ha d'estar tancat. No ha de fer sessions plenàries i, per tant, nosaltres, els que fem oposició, no podem fer un control al govern, al president i als seus consellers.
No s'estan celebrant plens perquè existeix un bloqueig. Un bloqueig no només entre 2 grups parlamentaris, sinó dins d'un grup parlamentari que es diu Junts per Catalunya.
Estem generant el miratge que, sense el permís de l'Estat, aquest Parlament no pot fer res. Estem generant el missatge de que el poder de l'Estat, de l'aparell de l'Estat, ho pot tot.
While activity in Parliament is quiet, the same can't be said for the government. The new Catalan and Spanish executives are trying to keep dialogue and conversations open in order to avoid a new escalation. Catalonia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ernest Maragall, met in Madrid with the Minister of Territorial Policy, Meritxell Batet. The meeting was held to iron out the details of an upcoming bilateral summit between the Catalan and Spanish executives that the Catalans insist must include discussions on the situation of the political leaders in prison or in exile, as well as the right to self-determination. Maragall also met with the Spanish Foreign Affairs Minister, Josep Borrell, and today the business minister from Catalonia met with her Spanish counterpart. A real change in comparison from the lack of dialogue between the previous administrations. This before a crucial summit between both in the next few days.
Esta comisión bilateral no se reúne desde el 2011. Son 7 años sin estas relaciones, sin la convocatoria de un órgano estatutario.
Yo no contemplo en este momento un escenario de desacuerdo que impida la celebración de la comisión.
If you have travel plans coming up, watch out, because this high season is going to be heavily affected by strikes. But here's what you can expect, and especially, here's how you can protect yourself.
The weather is warm, the sun is shining, and the water is fine. It's high season, but as usual, this comes with complications, delays, but especially strikes, some starting as early as tomorrow. Travel by air is going to be the most affected. Tomorrow and Thursday, Ryanair pilots and cabin crew are going on strike. But watch out, because the stoppage isn't just for Catalonia and Spain. It will also be in countries like Portugal and Belgium. Some 400 flights have been affected, but the airline insists everyone will be able to get to their destination. And you may be able to be compensated if your flight has been cancelled. The European Commission in Barcelona has launched a campaign to remind you that companies have obligations to fulfill and that as a passenger you have rights.
Passenger rights that include to have an indemnisation in case of denial of boarding, in case of overbooking, in case of delays of more than 3 hours, or in case that their luggage is damaged or lost. They have a number of rights that they have to exercise.
Also tomorrow and Thursday, July 25th and 26th, remember that taxi drivers are going on strike to protest Uber and other transport apps they see as competition. A strike was also foreseen for Iberia by its ground crew for immediately afterwards. The dates were on Friday and Saturday, and then again on the 3rd and 4th of August. Luckily though, the strike has been called off after long negotiations.
Protecting the environment is essential if we want to leave a better world for our children, and recycling plays a fundamental part in this. That's why the Residue Agency of Catalonia has kicked off a new campaign to promote selective collecting of the organic component in municipal waste. Last year, only 385,700 tons of organic waste was collected, a 2% increase in comparison to the previous year. This is only 30% of all the organic waste produced, and is still far behind the goals set by the European Union. Summer is synonym with festivals in Catalonia, and one of the offers in the north of the country is the Port Blau Festival, near the ancient ruins of Empúries. The festival hosted La Fura dels Baus last weekend, with a very special performance that wanted to explore the most basic instincts of mankind. The special spectacle, called Manas, opened in 1996 and could be seen in more than 250 different locations around the world, and was back in La Scala for the Port Blau. The festival is offering some more music and performing arts displays until Sunday. And we leave it here today. Before we go, take a look at the images coming from the Pyrenees, where the Doctor Music Festival is going back to next year. Some are already exploring the site. Enjoy, and see you tomorrow.
Nineta bonica, la vida no és curta, que ens han enganyat. Paraules gastades, tropells de poetes,